Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, we're staying in Germany because one of the good things in Germany is we know how to make sweet food. We're making pudding pretzels. Let's go. And here are the ingredients. You're gonna need fresh yeast, an egg, sugar, lukewarm milk, some soft butter, flour and salt, and a sheet of cold butter. And then you're also gonna need some heavy cream, instant pudding, sugar, powdered sugar, egg yolks, lemon juice, and some milk. Alright, first things first, we are starting with the dough. I am adding half of my yeast cube to the cup with my lukewarm milk. I'm gonna give that a quick mix.
A pudding pretzel is a baked good that is part of a group of baked goods that we call Teilchen in Germany. This term originated in the Rhineland area.
Set that aside and then take your bowl with the flour and salt. Add your sugar.
A Teilchen is a small and sweet baked good that is the size of the palm of your hand.
Your butter. And your egg. As well as your milk yeast mixture.
Teilchen are typically eaten in the afternoon with coffee and not necessarily for a special occasion. These pastries are often topped with icing or fruit.
And give it a mix until well combined.
The English term for Teilchen would be Danish pastry. The origin of the Danish pastry is often ascribed to a strike amongst bakery workers in Denmark in 1850. The strike caused bakery owners to hire workers from abroad, among them several Austrian bakers brought along new baking traditions and pastry recipes. The Austrian pastry of Plundergebæk soon became popular in Denmark, and after the labor disputes ended, Danish bakers adopted the Austrian recipes, adjusting them to their own liking and traditions by increasing the amount of eggs and fat, for example.
Alright, when smooth and pliable, cover it up and then put it in a warm spot and let it rest and rise for 30 to 60 minutes.
It basically needs to double in size. The time can vary depending on the climate you live in.
Alright, on to the custard. I'm adding almost everything of the milk to a pot. Like so. And then we're mixing the powder with the sugar and the egg yolk. Add 1 egg yolk.
Depending on where you live and what kind of ingredients you have, the way you have to prepare your custard might be a little different from the way I am making mine, but you always have to add 1 egg yolk.
The sugar.
The instant custard mixture that you get in Germany is basically just starch and a bunch of aromas that you have to mix with cold milk and sugar and then mix it into hot milk to thicken it up, which is totally different from like Jello powder in the United States where you just mix it with cold milk or water. So always check the instruction and see how it's done in your country. Then add your instant pudding mixture to the milk and mix it until well combined. This can take a few seconds.
Add it to the pot with your hot milk and whisk it constantly.
Danish pastry was brought to the United States by Danish immigrants. Laurits C. Klitteng popularized Danish pastries in the US around 1915 to 1920. According to Klitteng, he made Danish pastry for the wedding of President Woodrow Wilson in December of 1915.
Transfer your custard into a bowl and then cover it with some saran wrap to prevent it from getting a skin, and then let it cool down.
By now, your dough should have doubled in size. I am placing my dough on a baking mat. You can just go ahead and use your kitchen counter and then roll it out into a rectangular shape. Don't roll it out too thin. You will see why in a minute.
Unwrap your sheet of butter.
I used regular butter, formed it into a square, placed it in some saran wrap, and then rolled it out thin and put it in the freezer.
And place it on one side of your rectangle. Then flip the other side over and press it down a little bit so it's all sealed.
The colder the butter, the better. That's why I put mine in the freezer.
And then roll it out again. So now you want to divide the dough into 3 sections, but in your head, and then flip one side towards the half and then the other side over it, and then roll it out again. So you want to fold it one last time towards the middle, like so, and then roll it out. Take a pizza cutter and cut the dough into strings. They should be about 2 centimeters thick.
As you can tell, my butter came out of the sides a little bit. It shouldn't be that way, but it's not gonna ruin the dish. It's all good.
Take one piece and then twist it a little bit. And then form it into a pretzel and place it on a baking tray. Alright, they're all on the baking tray. Preheat your oven to 200 degrees Celsius and then transfer your custard into a piping bag and fill in the holes.
This is the part where you can get creative. You can even add some berries or other kind of fruits like peaches or mango. That will be a great addition. Place that on the pudding before baking. You can also switch up the custard a little bit and use chocolate custard or maybe even strawberry custard. That's totally up to you. Mix your egg yolk with your heavy cream and then brush it all over your pretzels.
Now put them in the oven and bake them for about 15 to 20 minutes.
At 180 degrees Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit. When they're done and nice and golden brown, take them out of the oven and let them cool down completely before we're going to continue with our next step. Also, if you're looking for the ingredients and exact measurements, make sure to check out my info box where I'm posting everything you need to know about every single recipe. Also, if you like my content, I would really appreciate you if you would subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and give this video a like.
Alright, they have cooled down completely. I am going to add my lemon juice to the bowl with my powdered sugar and give it a mix. When everything is well combined, drizzle it over your pudding pretzels.
It's kind of hard to tell, but you should shoot for a thick but runny texture of the icing. That way it's easier for you to spread it around so that every pretzel gets a little bit of that icing. And when that is done, you're ready to serve.
And here they are, my pudding pretzels. If you've liked this video, please smash a huge thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.